Hi guys, welcome to my channel. Today is day one of me recording, and today I'm taking y'all along to my first in-person consultation for my BBL at Mia Aesthetics here in Austin. So let's go. And disclaimer, if you do not support surgery, plastic surgery, women enhancing their, that sounded expensive. Women enhancing their bodies, things like that, just click through this video. This video is not for you. This video is for anybody that's trying to get more information on plastic surgery and just the whys and the hows kind of behind it. I'm so sorry if I keep looking around. This is super weird, like driving and recording at the same time. But anywho, so BBL a couple years ago, like I remember some of my friends had started talking about it, and I was like, no, like I'm never getting one of those. Like honestly, I was just scared, and I was like focused on like how bad I heard it hurt, and like at the time, like just like the money just seemed like so out of reach. But eventually time went on, and a couple years back in 2018, I had decided to go ahead and get a breast augmentation with Dr. Galante. He's based out of Indiana. He's super good at what he does. And so that I had been wanting for a long time. Like I probably wanted a boob job since I was like 5 and knew what they were. And I finally decided to just go ahead and do it. I wasn't even worried about the money. I was like, I'll figure it out later, which I did. But that surgery went so well. When I tell y'all, it was probably less than an hour long from what I remember. And from the time I went for an in-person consultation to when I had the surgery, it was 2 weeks. Like I went in and they were like, when do you want it done? And I was like, as soon as possible. And 2 weeks later I had it done. Best decision of my life. Like I remember like walking into the surgery room, like literally dancing, which I'm gonna drop that clip in here in a second. And like when I woke up, I just remember being super happy, like yes, I finally did it, this and that. And honestly, like I remember we went back home, I slept a ton, like a lot, and I had my surgery on a Friday, and I was back in the office working on Monday. And at the time I was a broker, so it was just like an office desk job, but it was like 10 hours a day, things like that. And my manager knew what was going on, so like if I needed anything or needed to stop, like it was fine. But worked the whole day, I was fine. I only took 2 rounds of painkillers. I think it was like the day of like one time, and then the next day like one time. So really wasn't on that much medication. And I want to say, like I used to be back in the clubs all the time, as y'all know. I was back in the clubs in 2 weeks. So it really didn't take me out the game all that bad, which is good. And then even when I had gotten my breast augmentation, like I still was like against, I was like, no, there's no way I'm getting a BBL ever. So it kind of like, that thought left my mind. Like I was like satisfied at the time with my work and with my results, so that was it. A little bit later, like I started getting more into like the cosmetic, I guess, world, and had gotten my lips done a few times in Chicago and here in Austin, Texas. And a BBL actually crossed my mind again when I went home during quarantine and had my hair done by one of my friends from back in the day. And she had been telling me like she was thinking about doing it for probably like a year, and she'd always like bring it up to me, but I don't know, I just never like thought anything of it. And then something about like being on quarantine, I was like, you know what, fuck this, I'm gonna do it. And that's what I did. So she went to get her BBL done by Dr. Mahio in Miami at Mia. she had gone to Miami recently, like early August, to get hers done, and I don't know, I loved like how prepared she was, and also I didn't even realize like there was a whole like community of people that do this stuff. So at the same time, like it was like she had a lot of support, and she had a lot of like people helping her with like what she should be doing, what she should be getting, things like that. So she was doing my hair, and we were talking about it, and finally, and I kept joking around, I was like, damn, like if I knew we would have been on quarantine for so long, like I would have just done this back in like March and healed by now and just been chilling. So I finally decided to take the leap, filled out a consult form, and at first was kind of discouraging because they low-key took a long time to get back to me, whereas my experience with my breast augmentation, they got back to me like immediately and brought me in immediately. So I guess I kind of had some preconceived notions of how it should be moving forward, but also I guess plastic surgery is taking more of a precedence now moving forward. And I think, I mean, yeah, like times are busier, these are busier areas, like Miami, Florida, and Austin, Texas are way busier areas for this type of stuff than Indiana is, unfortunately. So when I finally did hear back from them, like they called me, I was super excited. I literally want to say it was like 8 to 10 days later, and at that point they like went over everything with me. They like emailed me a bunch of stuff. Like I remember it was like literally 9 emails, and finally they had me send in my pictures. First of all, like, you know, like what your body looks like, but something about when you take pictures for a surgery consultation, it's something about your body that just looks awful to you. Like, I don't know what it is. I don't know if you're trying to make it look worse so that you can like get cleared for it or what the deal is, but it looked bad. And it's funny because I had my boyfriend take the pictures, and a couple months later, like recently, I showed him those pictures again, and he didn't even know that was me. He's like, those look awful. And then he like apologized. He's like, I had no idea they were you, because it's literally just like your torso and like your knees to your torso or whatever. Anywho, so I got my pictures in, like got cleared for surgery, like they had my weight and all that stuff, put my deposit down on the spot, period. And at that point I got my date, and then we were just waiting. After I got my date, I had to fill out a ton of other stuff still, like medical history, things like that, and they gave you like your checklist and stuff. And then I haven't done anything for a while. Anyways, so like I said, I'm driving there now. I'm about to get on the actual highway. I'm still kind of, I don't know, like I know the questions I should be asking the doctor, I guess, but it's kind of hard because when you had like such a successful surgery the first time, and you didn't really ask questions and you weren't really worried a ton, it's like weird to like try and make yourself worried, I guess. But again, this is a lot more invasive of a procedure, and so I just want to be, I guess, very aware of like vitamins and things like that to really prepare my body. And then I also just want to talk to them about how much more weight I should be gaining prior to the surgery. And honestly, I just want to gain the most that I possibly can so that I have more to put in my butt. But I don't know, it kind of makes it difficult too, because the job I do, like I'm wearing like a tight little outfit like when I'm at work. So at the same time, I feel fat and I'm not even to where I think I need to be at before January. So it's kind of like a mental battle, but it's okay. I just tell myself it's gonna be worth it, because when you see me in January, like, don't talk to me. Like, you'll be outside the club trying to get in and you can't even get in, period. As far as why I wanted a BBL, I know I touched on it earlier, but the actual why is like, I just want to be snatched. After I fell in love with my boobs, like I started gaining more weight at my office job, like in my stomach area and stuff, and it was like, I don't want to look like SpongeBob with boobs. Like, basically, I don't want to look like a rectangle with feet. Like, my love handles started to come through like over jeans that I'd wear and stuff, and just like high-waisted pants were becoming more of a necessity, and I'm very tiny as it is, so that was just very different from like the flat stomach that I've always had my whole life. So it was good in a way because I kind of filled out to match. It was almost like when I got my boobs done, my body just naturally started putting weight in other areas to kind of fill me out. But I also didn't want to be like, I don't know, just very, very top heavy. And then when I seen like, I didn't realize like all these Instagram models and celebrities and stuff like that be looking snatched. Like most of them went under 2. And I love how they look. And I just got into that mindset where I was like, okay, like if this is what you want to do, just do it. And I knew how happy my breast augmentation had made me, so like I've never dogged anybody for any type of surgery, and I just want to be snatched, period. Suck dry in the stomach. I want to be snatched on the hips. Alright guys, so I'm going to focus on the road, and I will turn you guys back on when I get there. Bye. Alright y'all, we made it. I'm kind of tweaked out right now. I don't know. I pulled in and it was a girl walking out in her robe, and she looked distressed, and I was like, oh no. And then I had to circle around a few times for parking. And I saw like hella hazmat trash cans outside. But yeah, this is on the other side of me from town. Like this is on the north side, and I live far south, so I'm just kind of like mapping out in my head right now like who would take me and things like that. Because I know like people work and stuff. But overall, I mean, it looks cute. It looks like an outpatient facility. But yeah, we'll see. I just have like a lot of thoughts running through my head right now. There's like another man walking in. Oh, there's some other dude that just walked out now too. So I'm loving the moral support from the guys. Here for it. I really hope the day of surgery that I get like an early morning one, so I don't have to be coming here at like 3 p.m. for surgery. And I'm not trying to have the doctor all tired working on me. But anyhow. So I'm gonna go inside to sign in, because maybe they'll take me a few minutes early, and then I'm gonna update y'all.